Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. My name is Giridhari. And today I want to give you a classic teaching from the Vedas, very important and actually quite useful for our day-to-day lives as well. And these are the four legs of Dharma. In the traditional language, we can call these the four pillars of a happy life, of a well-conducted life. So the four legs of Dharma, the four principles we should hold true to live a good life. Very basic, very important principles. So here we go. The first principle, the first leg of Dharma, the first pillar to live a good life is called Satyam in Sanskrit, and it means truthfulness. So Satyam isn't just truthfulness in terms of not lying, which is very important, but it's more of a commitment to truth in general, to seeing clarity, to not wasting time with illusion. Why? Because the whole path of yoga, spirituality in the Vedas is to come away from illusion, to renounce being fooled by matter and fooling yourself into not understanding who you are. It's a commitment to seeking the truth, so clarity and truth, and being straight about things. So Satyam is this clarity you commit yourself to of, okay, I'm not going to waste time, I'm not going to waste mental energy creating illusions and lying and falsity. These things consume huge amounts of mental energy. And they always get us into trouble because it's like they say, in Portuguese they have this saying that lies have short legs. They can't run very far, they fall. So lies get you in, it's just a question of time, things come out, the truth comes out, whether you like it or not. So, lies are such a hassle, they're such a drain, and they also cause, great damage to the world. I mean, we especially like this, we've come through the pandemic, and we saw how dangerous lies were. I mean, lies literally killed millions of people, died because of lies, just because of false information, right? So false information is deadly on all levels. And especially these days with so much, fake news, and also so much falsity, so much lying, and this is destroying the world, destroying society, and killing people, the planet. I mean, it's very dangerous. What about all the climate deniers? It's like the world is radically already changing, so millions of species at risk, and this is all because of lies. I mean, lies literally kill off species, it destroys our lives. I mean, you've gone through that. There is one caveat I should mention. That's important. The only time lying is okay, according to Krishna, is when your lie will avoid an innocent person from suffering uselessly, from being hurt. There's this great story in the Vedas where this sage is very, very proud. Usually you have these proud sages in the Vedas to teach us to balance things out. So this very proud sage, and he's very, he's got his ashram and he's very renounced, and he's made this vow, Satyam, or never to speak a lie, never to speak an untruth, always just to say things as they are. So he's all very proud of his, his vow to be truthful. And then he's there in his little ashram, and this family, this group of people, they come running through his ashram see, please help us, help hide us. There's this, these bandits are after us, they want to kill us, and they take our money and kill us. And he says, yeah, sure, go that way, and you should be okay, go that way. Okay, then some time passes, and the bandits come, these criminals come to his ashram and say, did you see a group of people come through here? And he's like, well, I made a vow to speak the truth. So yes, I did, and they went that way. And so, and he's like, oh, I made a vow to speak the truth. And then, some time goes by, and he dies, and he goes to hell. And he's in hell, and he's like, what am I doing in hell? I'm this super serious sage. I had made this vow of truth. I had all of these vows and one, and then, Yamaraj, who's the Lord of hell and death and justice, he says, well, that's exactly why you're here. You're so stupid. I mean, you're these criminals are coming after these innocent people, and you tell them where they are. You tell the criminals where they are. No, that's not any good. You should have lied. So then he says, oh. So anyway, so that's the only caveat. So, you know, like the classic case we had in history of like this, the Germans hiding the Jews, and the, you know, the SS would hit the, do you have any Jews? Says, no, we don't have any Jews. No, no, no. And, you know, so that's a great example of where lying is okay, but that's the only thing. Otherwise, we really have to stick to the truth. It's much better for us, and you can, I don't lie. You can conduct your life, you know, without really revealing anything you don't want to reveal, without being rude, you know, and still stick to Satyam. I mean, there are ways of speaking and behaving that you can stick to Satyam and still be kind and truthful and not reveal yourself, you know, more than you want to. Second thing, the second leg of Dharma is Socham. Socham is funny, it means cleanliness. And it's like cleanliness has this high, it's always high up in the lists. And at first it's like, what? You know, what are you talking about? But cleanliness is like high up, it's the first niyama, so in the path of yoga, you know, it's top of the list there as well, like cleanliness. And Krishna talks about it so many places, you know. You talk about cleanliness. Now, what happened? Like, yeah, of course, there's the hygiene. Hygiene is nice, right? Modern medicine confirms the importance of hygiene. You avoid so many diseases and you live better lives, etc. Okay, you live longer. So hygiene, sure, it's nice, wonderful, biologically speaking, it's, you know, very important. But there's actually a psychological component to cleanliness, which is actually even very important in this path of working your consciousness in the yoga path in the Vedas. Now, and you've noticed this, let me just see if you can remember this state, if you can bring it up again in your mind. Now, think about like some really disgusting place you walked into. I don't know, maybe like one of those public toilets somewhere, you know, like really disgusting. You walk in and it's like, you know, you've got feces all over the place, you know, like, remember, like, it was gross, but remember what it felt like. I mean, what, you know, like in terms of like, how did you feel when you walked in there? I mean, it was like gross. It's like, you know, it wasn't a nice feeling, right? Your conscience is like, it's kind of pulled down. Not like it's like you didn't have like high thoughts and a clear mind. You're like, right? It's disgusting. Now, on the other hand, think about when you get home and you're tired and dirty and you take a shower and you just feel that uplifting mood, or you just cleaned your place out and it's like, oh, that's nice. Or you go to sleep and you know, tuck into like fresh, clean bed sheets. You know that nice feeling? So that's called Satwa, not to be confused with Satyam. Satwa, the mode of goodness. So the yoga has this whole beautiful theory on matter. It's called the three modes of nature, the three gunas. And Sattva guna elevates the mind, clears the mind, allows you to think clearly, to be more harmonious, to be more here and now. It just gives you all these advantages. This well-being arises from Sattva guna. So cleanliness activates Sattva guna. So it's got this psychological component, which is very beneficial for clear thinking, higher level thinking. So places that are organized and clean, not just cleanness, but organization, cleanliness, these things will make you think better, feel better in general. So that's why Socham is mentioned here. The third leg of Dharma is Tapas. Now, tapas is a super important term in the whole of yoga and the Vedas, so important, and also, you know, basically like really hard to translate. People try to translate it as austerity, but that doesn't fit so much. It means lots of things. Now, I did a whole video on tapas, and there's a link to the video in the description of the video here. There will be a link to this video on tapas. But basically for us, because again, there's different definitions, but for us, what tapas means is making the right choices, choosing the right thing to do, doing the right thing, prioritizing the right thing over the easy, convenient path. Okay, so it's choosing things which should be done because they have to be done, because that's what is expected of you, duty, dharma, what, like the best of you, as opposed to what's easiest, what's most convenient, okay, what's less trouble, so choosing the right thing. So that's basically what tapas means. Very, very important point. And again, this video, you can understand more about it. And then lastly, the fourth leg of dharma is beautiful. It's daya. And daya means compassion, kindness. So important, right? Kindness, because what happens is kindness generates kindness. And compassion generates compassion. It makes a world a better place. I mean, the world is so hellish now. If this one element was there, it wouldn't be hellish. If just this one leg of dharma, if just this one little leg of dharma died, if this one was practiced universally, we would live in like it would be paradise. It would be a wonderful world. Just this one thing. Because it means, I define compassion in the phrase, I see your problem and I want to help. I see the difficulty you're going through and I want to help. But that's what compassion means. I see it and I want to help. Because if you just see it and you don't want to help, then it's like, what's the point? I see it and I want to help. So that's compassion. And kindness is just, just being nice, just smiling, saying good morning and being kind and, opening doors, just general kindness. So important, beautiful concept, right? So that's it. So those are the four legs of dharma. Satyam, Socham, Tapas, and Daya. So truthfulness, cleanliness, Tapas, which doesn't translate well, but just doing the right thing, choosing the best path. And fourth, kindness and compassion. Okay? So I hope you like this. And if you have any questions or comments, leave your comments below. I'd love to see your comments and your questions. And don't forget to share this video with your like-minded friends, because we need to get this information out. If you want to change the world today, the culture, we need to get people getting into this culture, getting into these views, and making the world a better place. Have a rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love. Hare Krishna.